Hey Bead Geeks, today I'm going to show you how to use the pearl knotting tool to make an awesome pearl knotted necklace. Now I don't offer classes on pearl knotting per se, scheduled classes, because it's so easy, it only takes a few minutes to learn. Basically today I'm going to be making a pearl knotted bracelet or pearl knotted necklace like this one using 8mm fuchsia pearls, 8mm cocoa pearls. I am using a cocoa SLon cord. Now this is not a traditional thing to string your pearls on, but I like the stiffness of it and the way that it lays, so that's why I use it. I'm also need a very thin tip tweezer. I have a pearl end. I have my easy pearl knotting tool, a big eye needle, a flat nose plier, and a cutter. Now when you get started with pearl knotting, you'll want to cut yourself quite a bit of SLon cord. Now the first thing I need to tell you, and I forgot to just tell you about it in our list, is you're going to need a pearl bead reamer. Now a pearl bead reamer is a little bit different from other bead reamers because it has a very small tip to it and it has corrugated edges here. So the reason you want to use this is because it has a finer tip. You can get in there and really clean out the pearl hole. Now I've learned, this is a new tool here in the store, and I've learned over the last couple of days that you can't ream it too big or you're going to bust your pearls. I worked on this necklace, this was all that I had left to finish here, and I busted a pearl, didn't realize it until I put it on and already knotted it. So you always want to pay attention. Now when you do a pearl necklace using these swivel findings, you have to start on one end and work your way to the other end. So using my SLon cord, I'm going to thread on a few beads. Now the good thing about it is I can take my little bead reamer, hold my cord, and then thread my beads right on through. And again, this is a pearl bead reamer, not a regular bead reamer. So I'm going to thread on, I guess, just 2 of my beads. And then I'm ready to start, put one end on, and I'm going to use a swivel clasp. Now this will work with pretty much any of your beading, and it makes it look really, really nice and finished. Like this one here, you can see the beads are right up against it, and it doesn't really affect your design any. But the one problem that I have, not having a very flimsy needle on one end, you have to take, there's a little bar here on the inside. I'm going to see if I can come in just a little bit more without messing it up. I take and I thread my working thread under the bar. Now it won't come up, so I use my very fine tip tweezers, put it in there, and sometimes it takes me a couple of tries to completely get it, because this is a little bit thicker cord than what these were actually made for. But I love to use this cording to do my pearl knotting. Okay, so I've got it pulled through here under the bar, and at this point I'm going to pull it through a little bit, and I'm going to thread on a big eye needle. Now when I thread my big eye needle on, I'm just going to thread just a tad bit of that very end on there. I don't want much threaded on through it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the last pearl that I threaded on, I'm going to take my needle and go through the pearl, and then I'm going to use my flat pliers and I'm going to pull that thread through. I'm going to take my needle off, and I'm just going to pull the bead or the threads opposite ways so that my pearl ends up right there at my little end cap. Then I'll take and I'll do a surgeon's knot. So you do it one way and then the opposite way. Now, once I've done that surgeon's knot, I can take and nip my little end off. And then I will pull my other pearl up next to it. Now, when you actually start doing your pearl knotting, you'll want to pull off maybe about 50 inches of cord. The norm, I guess I should say, is for a 16-inch necklace, you would want to thread on about 64 inches of thread. Now, a lot of people like to take and thread all their beads on at one time. I personally don't like to do that because I'm afraid I'll mess up. So I will ream my next bead that I'm going to add. And before I put it on, I'm going to start just a basic knot. And I'm going to zoom in here because I'm fixing to use my tool so I can show you how to use the easy knotting tool. Your easy knotting tool looks as so. You have a long spot, you have a yoke or Y shape, and then you have a handle here that pushes up. So I'm going to put the long piece, making sure I don't get my pearls in here. I'm going to thread on the long piece and I'm going to pull the knot up to the bar. Now, once I have it up to the bar, I'm going to pull it up and pull my thread good and tight up against so that the yoke pulls up against the bar. Then slowly, I'm going to push up, and what that does is it pulls my knot off the bar and it pushes it up good and tight against the bead. So I have a good, nice, tight knot here. Then I'll take the bead that I just reamed just a minute ago, and I am ready to thread it on. So I'll thread it on. I'll do my knot. I will stick my easy knotting tool inside the loop, pull it up against the bar, make sure that your extra little thread here is in the yoke, pull good and tight, and then it pops right off when you push. And what this does, this little easy knotting tool, allows you to get perfect uniform knots between your pearls. There's nothing people hate more than to get their pearls back and them not be evenly knotted. So once again, I've got my pearl on. I'm going to do a knot. I will put the knot inside the long bar and pull good and tight. I'll make sure my working thread goes between the yoke here, pull, and then push up with my little tool. Now, as you can see, that's giving me perfect uniform knots throughout my beads, so that as you do your piece, you'll get beautiful results with this easy wire tool. Now, you'll do this, doing your knotting tool, all the way to the other side. And once you get to the other side, you'll complete it just like you did the first side. You will thread on 2 beads, so you'll have your last knot. You'll thread on 2 beads with no knot in between it. You'll go under the bar of your lobster and then back through the pink, my pink bead here, and then I will just make sure I tie my knot between my pink and my brown bead, making sure that I have my bead pulled up against the swivel closure so that you have a very nice professional looking finished piece. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to use the easy knotting tool. This can be used for knotting pearls side by side or doing the new popular spaced out designs. So I hope you enjoy. To purchase the tool, you can purchase it off the beadedpathbeadstore.com or stop by our store at 120 West Trade Street in Forest City to pick up your own.